Hello and welcome to Time Out with Sports Adda. We have a great game today, the qualifier 2. It's the royal clash between the Royal Challengers Bangalore taking on the Rajasthan Royals. So we are live from the Motera Stadium. If you have the action here, it's going to be a cracker jacker of a game like how Salil always says. Now Salil, I'll waste no further time and I'll let you take over and tell us about the Royal Challengers Bangalore lineup if I can have a look at it and how good do they look on paper.
Well, Sanju Samson's won the toss and put Bangalore into bat, and quite surprisingly, even Faf said that he would want to bat first. So I think they have what they want. But you see a lot of big names here: Kohli, Duplessis,
Yeah.
Maxwell, Karthik have been brilliant. Shahbaz Ahmed has been good. That one name at number three, Rajat Patidar, is also making this batting lineup look brilliant. Hasaranga, they bat right up till Harshal Patel. And I think they've got pretty good depth in their bowling. We saw it that day when they defended those 200 runs. So quite a great side there for Bangalore. And I feel they're coming into this match being a red hot team with their energies high. So let's hope they score as much as they did in the last match.
Exactly, and Faf du Plessis at the toss said that they are glad that they lost the toss because he was as it is going to bat first. And Sanju Samson winning the toss. Rishabh, ये क्या हो गया? तीसरा टॉस जीता है पूरे IPL में. So it's very shocking. But if you can have a look at their lineup, and they too are unchanged. But Rishabh, just tell me how good do they look? Do you think Obed McCoy is the point of concern for them, or do you think that he will still come out, flourishing in today's game?
Yes, I think Yash, you mentioned they have a very good side. The number three position, once Sanju Samson has taken them, it looks a settled lineup with Jaiswal and Butler opening, Samson, Padikkal and Hitmer then coming in the middle order. The bowling, as
Right.
usual, was settled and good. Talking about Obed McCoy, I think if you see in the last game or the last two games he's played, he's turned out to be one of their better bowlers than the others. So I think he will be somebody who will be definitely an important bowler for Rajasthan, considering the Motera wicket is sort of it's not as flat as the Eden Garden. So his backhand slow
Right.
balls and his cutters can come in handy for Rajasthan.
Thankfully, he's bowling first, so there'll not be a lot of scoreboard pressure on the bowler because we saw it in the last game. The ball just slipping out of the hands, those no balls, those white balls. He was all over the place. But in the end, it's a big game. The winner goes on to play the finals on Sunday against the Gujarat Titans. So, Salil and Rishabh will make some predictions in prediction time. Okay, Rishabh just praying to all his gods कि एक right दे दे भगवान.
आखिरी मैच में
But
तो
he's
जिता दो.
he's he's the Lal Badshah of our team. He's always covered in red. So now speaking of the predictions, there will be three predictions, as you all know: one batting, one bowling, and one team prediction. So I'll make the very controversial prediction. Bang on from me is Rajat Patidar to score less than 25 runs. He
Oh,
scored
that's a
100 in
big
the last
gamble.
game. The man in form, he is in red hot form, like everyone knows. And I think that is where I feel that the big game might take the better of him. And Rajasthan lineup is not a Lucknow bowling lineup. Rajasthan is very well experienced with the spin twins, with Bolt, Prasidh Krishna, even Obed McCoy, like Rishabh said, has got those tricks under his sleeve. So I think that Rajat Patidar, we can see is back early in this innings. My next prediction would be another bold one. I think Prasidh Krishna to take more than 2 wickets because he's not picked a couple of wickets for like over 3 games now. And I think today
Yeah,
is
he
the
needs
day
to bounce
where,
back.
yeah, he needs to bounce back. And I think the Ahmedabad pitch is a fresh pitch, so no one knows what's the pitch going to be like. It looks like a good pitch, but out there you don't know. Prasidh Krishna has got those, good bouncers and good yorkers in the end. So I think a couple of wickets could be on the cards. Now, my final prediction, that's the team prediction that I'm going to make, is the power play score for RCB is going to be under 50 because, as we all know, Kohli and Duplessis go with a very cautious start. Last time around as well, they were 5 overs, 30 odd, and in that Kunal Pandya sixth over, I think Rajat Patidar went over 20 runs, so that's where they scored 50. But otherwise, they always go and get cautious starts. So these are my three predictions. I'll let Salil go ahead and make his ones now.
Well, my batting prediction is RCB's top batsman would be Glenn Maxwell. The reason I say this is because he's got an excellent record against Yuzi Chen, although his wickets fallen
Yeah,
a
he
few
has.
times. He's hit him at a very good strike rate. I think with the twin spin twins, Glenn Maxwell switch hits and reverse sweeps will make a very big difference. My second prediction is the best economical bowler, and I've stuck with this guy for a long time, Ravi
Yeah, yeah,
Ashwin. I
you have.
still think that he has the strategy and the mindset to block the RCB batsman. He might bowl in the power play and grip them for a few runs. So hoping that this happens. And my third and last prediction, the RCB would score above 160. I think 175 looks like a par score based on the pitch report that we saw. And I think
Yeah,
RCB will be capable of scoring at least around 180 runs, as per the way they are playing. Over to you,
right.
Rishabh.
Thanks, Ali Bhai. Coming to my first prediction on the batting for RCB, Faf du Plessis to hit more or less than 5 boundaries. I think more because for the last few games he's not been able to give the start which RCB would have expected out of him. Big game, and that's when big players step up. So I expect him to take the pressure off Virat Kohli and take the mantle in his own hands. So I expect him to score more than 5 boundaries. Coming to my second prediction on the best bowler for Rajasthan, I think it's only fair if one spinner is there on the charts. We have his partner with
Uzi.
on the side as well.
Hands
So I
down.
expect Yuzvendra Chahal. Plus, like I said earlier, this wicket is something which will have a lot more turn, or we're expecting a lot more turn than the one at Eden. So you expect him to come good. Coming to my final prediction will be the opening stand between 21 to 40. So again, something backing what he has said that the openers have not been really best of forms. They'll have a cautious start, and somewhere I expect Virat Kohli to maybe have fall under the pressure and give his wicket. So yeah, that's a prediction from
Wow.
my side.
यार विराट कोहली को बैट्समैन ही नहीं मानते क्या हम लोग? What is this? You've not predicted best batsman. You've not predicted 5 boundaries. I mean, it's surprising
That's
the
been the
lack of
story of the
form.
season, sadly,
Exactly.
Yash. But
Sadly, the
yeah,
story of the
we have to
season
move
has
on.
been such that Virat Kohli hasn't gotten off to best of the most number of runs that he
Surge.
scored. It's one of his disastrous seasons. But still, his team is doing well. So I think that is the larger picture to look at. But Rishabh, I'll ask you first. We spoke of RR with a very settled bowling lineup and everything's fine. But we know that even RCB will be prepared for it because RR don't have a sixth bowler. That is the point of concern. If you have Ashwin and Chahal, if one of them has an off day, you have to cover up. And I don't. Do you think Riyan Parag will step up in such times? And in this big match, you could see him bowl if at all they bowl really badly.
You have to. I mean, you don't have any other option. I mean, let's be practical. He's
Exactly.
the only six bowling option you have. I mean, Jaiswal doesn't bowl, Butler doesn't bowl, Samson can't take his gloves off. So ideally, he's the only one option you have, and I don't see him bowling more than 2 overs because more often than not, he's not a spinner. He's just somebody who bowls at a slow pace. His ball doesn't turn. So it can be that it can just come in the arc, and you've seen the RCB batting lineup. It's
Yeah.
all the batsmen can just clear the boundary with ease. So that makes it that much more difficult for a bowler who doesn't turn the ball nor is regular to find the right length. So that will be a big matter of concern. I think that is what could have caused them the qualifier one as well for
Yeah.
Rajasthan. You can say so, but that's how they have been playing. That's how they have been winning. That's how they have reached till here. So I think it's better you stick with it rather than at the last moment turning to somebody and
Yeah.
asking for a surprise.
You're right. You're right. And Rishabh, like you've already answered some of the points. Just tell me, do you think it's going to be RR or RCB according to you in today's game?
I hope it's Rajasthan.
Oh, so you're just going on your gut right now, and what you really want is Rajasthan to win. But both the teams are in impeccable form, and it could go either way. So that's a prediction from Rushabh that he's backing RR to get this one. Sahil, I'll ask you very importantly, Rajasthan, yeah, Bangalore.
Well, I think the way it's going, it looks like Bangalore. The reason being is they're batting first, and Rajasthan has not really fared very good while they were chasing. Butler doesn't have a lot of runs in this IPL chasing. They've batted brilliantly
Yeah,
when they've batted the first innings. So I
good
think
point.
these are the things, and also the fact that RCB bowling has got a lot of confidence to defend a certain total with Harshal Patel back in form. It makes a very big difference if your top bowler is giving not more than 10 runs in the slog overs. I think those are as good as maidens for me because that's
Yeah,
when
that's a good
the
point.
batsmen really take it off. There are 4 overs and batsmen score 60, 70 runs, and here you're not able to chase much. So they won with a margin of 14 runs, and I think that's quite brilliant. It wasn't even a close match the other day against Lucknow. It was going smoothly, but later on he clawed back. So I think these are a few things which I feel RCB might trump RR. They might buckle up under pressure while chasing.
Excellent. So these are our predictions. Salil said RCB. Rishabh says RR. It's going to be a
The
cracker
tussle.
jacker of a game. The tussle is back. So live action coming up. This was Time Out with Sports Adda. Thank you, Rishabh and Salil. Take care.